How to install a Seiko Drain Plus dispenser. The Drain Plus is typically used for drain enzymes as clock-based peristaltic pump with up to 48 dosings per day. This is the complete code for the Drain Plus. In the box is the manual, a roll of tubing, a ceramic weight and foot filter so that you put the ceramic weight on, put the tubing onto the foot filter, and this will keep the pickup down in the bottom of the container as well as filter out any debris that might clog the pump. Also comes with an injection check valve. This is 1/4 inch male pipe thread and the same size for the tubing here at the compression fitting. It also comes with a 3/8 inch adapter if you should need that. Has the mounting screws and anchors, the mounting bracket which you mount on the wall, and the pump slides against that mounting bracket from behind. Also included is a large saddle valve kit. This would be if you need to inject the drain enzymes into a PVC pipe, a 2-inch PVC pipe, typically found underneath pot and pan sinks, feeding into grease traps. And if there was no other point to inject your chemical, you could drill a hole in the PVC pipe, mount the saddle clamp over it, attach the injection fitting, and pump your drain enzymes directly into the pipe. When you first get the pump, the very first thing you need to do is install this clock board. You will see this warning label with this red tag. There is a small clock board that is needed to be installed in order for the Drain Plus to keep track of time. So you insert the little coin battery in the front with the stamped code number of the battery visible. Then that would be facing down in the dispenser. It plugs into the white board here, and you do have to make sure it is fully seated down. You have to kind of wiggle and push down so that it's solid in there and won't move. Once you have that, you can plug it in and power it up. When it's off, it will read standby, which would be for maintenance, such as replacing a squeeze tube or a pump motor. But in normal operation, the power switch will be in the I position. First, you have to do the settings, which is to program the clock, the day, the time, the language, milliliters or English. So press and hold the escape settings button for about 5 seconds, and settings comes up. In the settings menu, set the clock time. First, you need to set if you want the military clock 24-hour or if you want to go with a 12-hour clock. Mostly in America, we use the 12-hour clock. So I'm going to set that. The next parameter is the clock setup. Today's Tuesday, and the time is 12. p.m. Next, you can set for milliliters or ounces. This would be for your measurement when you calibrate it and just to track the amount of product pumped. Relay off. There's an optional relay input where you can attach a remote alarm here. It's very rarely used, but it's there if you need it. There is also a flow switch. This flow switch connection point here will allow the pump to operate when a programmed event comes up. If the flow switch is closed, it will allow the dosing to occur. If you have it tied to a float switch and the float switch is not activated and a dosing event comes up, it will not pump unless the flow switch has a closed circuit. And calibration, you can follow the procedure in the manual. Very simple. It's just to capture the amount of product, over a given period of time to determine what the flow rate of the pump is. And if you want to change your password, then you come back to the language. So the settings are done. I'm going to hit Escape Set. It's asking me, do I want to save that programming? And I hit Enter to save it. Next, we have to program the actual dosing events. To do that, you press and hold the Enter Program button. So program number 1, in this case, is going to come on at 12 o'clock a.m. And I need to set the days of the week. The flashing lines there is to set every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or you can do groupings of days, just the weekend, just weekdays, or any individual day. In almost all cases, we want the dosing to be every day for the products to be most effective. Hit the program button again, and here's where you would pump the amount, you program the amount of product you want to pump. This is still reading milliliters. If it was ounces, you would program your 2 ounces, 4 ounces, 5 ounces. And if you had previously calibrated the pump, it will immediately know how long the pump needs to run to give you that amount of product. However, it has a default value. It's 8 ounces or 7 ounces a minute, and it's 7 ounces a minute. And if you use that default value and you tell the pump you want 7 ounces, it knows it has to pump for 1 minute. Once that first event is programmed, then you should set the speed of the pump. Normally you want to pump it at 100% speed because it's less wear on the pump motor and the squeeze tube. However, there may be instances where you want a very slow feed. And whether your dose is 1 ounce or 10 ounces, you can run the pump at a very slow speed for a very long duration of the product enzymes to trickle in. But in most cases, it would be set at 100%. And now program 1 is done. If I want to enter another program, program 2, and repeat the steps to program your events, your dosing events. When you have your dosing events programmed, press Escape Set. It'll ask you if you want to save it, program button, and you're done. Further, last thing is if you ever need to prime the pump, press and hold the plus sign and it will prime. You have to press the button a second time to stop the pump.